We're going to take you back live now to Cape Town, in fact outside the Cape Town International Convention Centre. That's where the World Economic Forum on Africa is taking place. Our reporter Ronald Masinda is there. And Ronald, you'll describe to us protesters that have gathered in their numbers at the venue. What's going on?
Good morning, Michelle. Well, absolute pandemonium here outside the Cape Town International Convention Centre earlier as protesters tried to make their way inside of the convention centre, where the place was cordoned off by the police. We'll just step out of shot because the crowd is getting a bit rowdy. Michelle, I'll just give you a sense of what's going on here in the background. As you can see, a lot of police trying to cordon off the area here outside the convention centre. The protesters from various institutions coming in their numbers. We saw protesters from Zimbabwe talking about some anti-Emerson Mnangagwa protesters gathered here and also pro-Emerson Mnangagwa supporters. But the protesters mainly here are protesters against gender violence in South Africa. Those are the ones who have really come in their numbers, demanding that Cyril Ramaphosa address them. Or else, if that doesn't happen, Michelle, they will cause a riot here.
So, Ronald, it does appear from what you're telling us that the protest has various legs. There are some Zimbabwe protesters. I see some school children there in their school uniforms still. There's some protesters there against gender-based violence in South Africa. So a whole range of issues there, people making their voices heard.
Indeed, well, people are really making their voices heard. And, Michelle, there's no numbers to really describe how many people there are here. I could at least say thousands. So really all of them really up in arms, mainly about the issues that have been plaguing South African society, particularly the passings of the young women that have passed away in recent days. When we attended a government press conference yesterday, it was said that at least 30 women died in the month of August due to gender violence at the hands of their partners. So really they feel that there's no protection or enough protection for women here in South Africa. There's also a hashtag doing the rounds, am I next? So that's a question that many of these women have been asking here, asking themselves, are they the next victims of gender violence? My colleague Mario is just quickly capturing some of the protests happening here. So we'll just take a listen, Michelle.
The president has been watching what has been happening and he has not said a word all time. Sitting, President Ramaphosa, you need to come out and address the issue today. Today, we are shutting down South Africa until the death
We're just stepping out of shot quickly, Michelle, and as you can see, basically people complaining, saying that they are going to shut down South Africa, given that for so many years, their calls have fallen on deaf ears.
Thanks very much for that update. Ronald, we'll come back to you in the next hour to get the very latest on those protesters that have gathered, as we are told, outside the Cape Town International Convention Centre. That's the venue for the World Economic Forum on Africa. As our reporter Ronald Masinda tells us, several legs to that protest action. Some are anti and pro-Emerson Mnangagwa, the Zimbabwean president. And then there are school children, South Africans, ordinary citizens that are there to protest South Africa's staggering rates of femicide.